there, Spartans. Here's a quick lesson on mental percents, and mental percents are fabulous because we, as adults, use them in everyday life whenever we're calculating a tax or a tip or even a discount on any kind of an item. So let's start off with the easiest one, 100%. Mentally, if you're paying 100%, you're going to pay a whole amount or the total amount. So let's write 100% is the total amount. So if there's a sale and something is 50% off, that's also easy to calculate because 50% is just half of the total. So mentally, in 50%, we are going to take 1/2 of the total. And then what if it's 25%? Well, I know that 25% is half of 50%. So if I could take my total, cut it in half, and then cut it in half again, that would be 1/4, but I'm just going to write half of 50% because cutting in half is very easy for the mind. Okay, let's go to 10%. This one's really fun. It's a matter of moving a decimal. 10%. To get from 100% to 10%, you just move, like the decimals at the end here, move it back one space and boom, you have 10%. So move decimal left one space. And you go from 100 to 10%. Okay, now 5%. Well, if you can move the decimal back once and get 10%, well, 5%, that's just 1/2 of 10%. And then finally, 1%. Now to get from 100 to 10, we move the decimal back one space. To get from 100 to 1, we move the decimal back two spaces. So 1% move decimal left 2 spaces. Ta-da! Okay, so when you're finished writing these, you can put them in your notes, and let me give you just an example of what we're talking about. Oh, I think I might have room at the bottom. Okay, let's say I've got something that cost $80, and 100% would equal that $80. Well, then 50% would be half that amount, so half of 80, $40. Well, what if I want 25%? Well, I can do two things. I could take 80 divided by 4, or I could take half of the $40, because half of 50% is 25, so half of 40 is 20. All right, what about the 10%? Well, that was moving the decimal left one space, I get 10%. So move this decimal left one space, and I get $8. Well, then what about 5%? Well, 5% is half of 10%, so if 10% is 8, well then half of that is 4. 5% is 4. And then what about 1%? Well, that's moving this decimal back twice, so I would have to move this decimal back twice, and I would get 1% is 0.8 or 80 cents. And then you could use these mental percents combined. Let's say I'm trying to find 16%. Well, 16% consists of a 10, a 5, and a 1%, totaling 16%. So I could add 8 plus 4, which is 12, and then the 80 cents. So 16% would be $12.80. Or let's say I've got 75%. Well, I know 50% is 40, and 25% is 20, so 50 and 25 is 75%, 40 and 20, $60. All right, well, I hope this helps you, and pull this out anytime you need to remember your mental percents. Have a great day. Bye.